Hi everyone, James here. I thought I'd try patch 3 for the modern Ultimate that dropped today, the 16th of April. So here I'm in the Porsche 911 RSR. It's a Spa, a car that I drove yesterday. So I want to try and see what the force feedback feels like, because they basically balanced the force feedback mainly amongst the GTE cars. They've also made some changes for the prototype cars, but I can already feel a little bit of a difference. But preempting the fact that they've changed the force feedback by 36% on all the GTE cars, sort of normalised or balanced them all. Supposedly. Basically, I've changed the in-game setting from 90% to 100%, the force feedback strength, and that can be changed to 200% to suit your own personal taste. So I'll try and see what this is like in a quick lap, well, out lap and one lap Spa, to try and feel the difference as I throw my wheel around, just to see what this is like. So I'm on a Fanatec DD1 with the torque key, but for what that's worth, I don't run my force feedback high because I've got a long-standing left shoulder issue. So yeah, I can already feel this is different from what it was yesterday. Yeah, some of that may be placebo, but yeah, and knowing the fact that it's been reduced. I've also changed the default setups as well for the cars, so I'm interested to see what there's some points around this track, at least 3 where I know what speed in kilometres an hour the Porsche should be doing. So I'd be interested to see after this lap what speeds with the new default setup, what they've changed. If there's anything massively noticeable in terms of the car being slower. One thing they have done is added 20 kilograms, guys, to all of the cars. The Corvette, the 488 Ferrari, this 911 RSR, and the Aston Martin is untouched. So it looks like the way that they're making the Aston Martin more competitive is to just keep on, add weight to the other cars. I think the Ferraris had weight added 3 times now. I think 12.5, 10 kilos, and then another 20. And this is the first time the Porsches had weight added, I think, 20 kg. The Corvettes had weight added before, so had weight added again. And the Aston Martins had weight taken off once on some tracks, but no weight added yet. So maybe we'll see more people in the Aston Martin. Time will tell. One thing I have noticed is in the MFD they've changed the stop-go penalties, not there anymore if you don't have one to serve, so that's quite good, because it was spurious, irrelevant information you didn't need to have on the MFD. So I'm just going to run one lap, first driving of the day, so but I was here yesterday. Wasn't pleased with the pace that I had in the race. I got down to a 2:16.4 race lap, so not great. So some time away from the sim, so let's see what I can do here, guys. Yeah, so I think definitely going to need to turn the force feedback up. It's weaker than before. Feels different as well. I can't quite put my finger on it. So the car should hit about 262, 263. It's not going to hit that. Not even 261 there, but so I'm just wondering what they've changed with the default setup. Driving this track because I drove it yesterday. Rather than jumping on a different track that I've not driven for weeks like Monza, I'll try and drive a track that, to compare the apples with apples, the force feedback. Well, 36% is quite a reduction. I can feel it anyway. Even though I preempted that change and changed the force feedback setting in the control menu to 100%, I had it on 90, sometimes 85% in the past, but I've just left it at 90, so I've changed that to 100, and this is definitely weaker, guys. It feels okay, but I'll be toggling the force feedback on the Fanatec DD1 or changing that percentage, maybe above 100, because it does go to 200%, that setting in the control menu for the force feedback. So obviously need to be mindful of any clipping on the force feedback signal. try and avoid any clipping. So the speed there was comparable, 253 kph on the right hand side. This is definitely one of my nemesis areas of this track, the bus stop and turn 1. Right, so just going to see what this lap time is for the first drive of the day. Okay, so 1.7 seconds off my PB. Yeah, that definitely feels different, guys. If I just go into the settings now, as I said, I don't run the force feedback high because of my left shoulder. So I'm on a Fanatec DD1 with the torque key. So I've got this used to be set to 90, so I preempted the patch release notes saying 36% reduction and changed this to 100. But this does go to 200. Yeah, if you left it at that, it'd be massively stronger, but obviously I can change it on the fly, as can most wheel users in software on the actual wheelbase. Right, let's come out of this. What I will do is, that's the first drive of the day, I will go into the LMDH or prototype car. Did my first race yesterday at Le Mans, so you can probably guess what track and what car I'm going to drive. I'll drive the same, just to see. Private practice on, start. Just get straight into this, guys, and just see how this feels, because they've changed the force feedback and added weight. Except in the Peugeot's case, they've taken weight away, but they've changed the force feedback on the Porsche 963 prototype car, the LMDH car. They've reduced it. Look at the release notes again. Yeah, so they've changed the force feedback on this car, decreased 12% and added 10 kilograms of ballast as well to this car, and updated the default setups. Increased fuel consumption by about 32% now. Oh, the game's just crashed, guys. That was something that was in the release notes. The game crashes. All I was doing was just loading a single player Le Mans there. Typical. I'll just reload the sim again. Never mind. Caught on camera. Yeah, so just crashed for the first time. Pre-patch, post-patch 3. Try that again. Car class, Hypercar. Pick a different livery. Why not? Private practice. Let's get straight into this. Let's try again. Second time lucky. The famous last words. So I want to just run a lap here, do an out lap, and then do one lap and just see what this is like, because 12% reduction in force feedback on the Porsche 963 doesn't seem like much, to be honest. Negligible. Plus, I've already changed the in-game force feedback from 90 to 100, just preempting for the GTE car, and that did feel weaker still than what I'm used to, than what I ran yesterday. So I'll be changing the force feedback either by the percentage above 100%, or probably just on the easier to just do it on the profile on the Fanatec DD1 Formula wheel. Change that profile, maybe up another Newton meter or so. Because yeah, if I take that 7% newtons and then times it even by, I think 30%, will be just over 9 Newton meters. Yeah, 7 times 1.36 would be 36% reduction, would be 9.5 Newton meters, which not a big jump from 7. Anyway, as I say, I don't usually tend to run it higher, but that definitely felt weaker, even at the 100%. I'll be interested to see, with me doing my first LMDH race here at Le Mans yesterday, what this feels like. So again, let's see if this is still set to what I have for the GTE. So yeah, and what I race with, more importantly. Yesterday I raced with this 7 and 90, so I'll leave this at 100. Just try and see if what this feels like. Where's the... Change that to 90, which is what I started the race with yesterday. I did my first, depending on what goes up in YouTube first, my first ever prototype race. Loaded the wrong track, guys. Want them on. Too busy, yeah. I think the game crash put me off. I needed to do this. Let's go again. Make sure this is set to private, for the sake of this. try again. Third time, well, yeah, third time lucky I think, but get into this and then just do an out lap and then do one lap. Just see what that 12% reduction feels like, and then they've changed the default setup as well and added ballast to this car. Some of the hypercars have had weight taken away. The Peugeots had minus 2.5 kg. They've all had force feedback revisions. Increases across the board apart from the Porsche. Yeah, all the Glickenhaus has had force feedback as well, increased. Goes to 5499. It's only the Cadillac actually, 0.7%. Wow, 0.7% reduction, but it's the Porsche 963 that I'm interested in. The only car that I've raced so far. Only hypercar, 12% and 10 kilos weight penalty added. Updated the default setup as well, so see what this is comparable to yesterday, because it did do how many laps was it now? Sure now, to be honest, a 36-minute race, about 12 laps I think, something like that, 11-12 laps. Less than that actually, do the math. Anyway, it was a good race, an enjoyable race, and so depending on what I upload first, this will be up first before that or after, but just wanted to see what this patch 3 is like, guys, in terms of the ballast and force feedback being the main point that I'm testing. It's what I'm mainly interested in, what most people will probably be interested in, unless you're very experienced in these cars, maybe where you know the car really well, which I currently do not. I found doing the only one hypercar race. Right. Double check. So yeah, 100% out of this. Car setup. Here we go. Let's just change this to what I had yesterday's race start. Right, on the right track this time, guys. This is the track that I wanted. I'm on. Just toggle this again. Just see the lights on the wheel. Okay, this still feels comparable to yesterday. Just take a few corners first. Yep, still feels pretty strong. So even though I don't run my force feedback high, I can run it higher because then I feel it at my shoulder, my collarbone, so I've got an issue with my left shoulder, collarbone, sometimes even in the right, but mainly in the left, so I don't want that to come back again because I want to actually be doing racing, so I have to run less force feedback than I would like to run. Didn't get the downshift a second, but I needed to brake a little bit earlier there, I think. Okay, I only did my very first race here yesterday. These cars are so fast. Yeah, I was very impressed yesterday with this. I didn't have my mic on in the race, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't stack it because it was my very first experience of Le Mans Ultimate in a prototype car, in a hypercar. So yeah, I wanted to enjoy it to the max without being distracted, chatting away, and which can normally involve being slower and or crashing sometimes. But I've got lots to learn with these cars. This is literally my second time driving one of these, so yeah, you see my time that I ran yesterday next to the throttle trace guys with the letter B next to it, B for best, I think. Close to 3:29. Not brilliant, but not too bad. Just to say, I've not tried hard yet in one of these cars, so we'll be able to find some time. find some consistency first though. Just run one lap. This definitely feels comparable to yesterday. So I did preempt with the GTE, changed the in-game force feedback from 90 to 100. So I can definitely run this higher than 7 Newton meters at 100%. So I'm just concerned with my shoulder longevity. So I'll have to run less, but still feels pretty decent to me. Force feedback quite strong as well. Probably hear my rig there, guys. My old GTE Omega that's going to be replaced with the older, new Sim rig aluminium profile. So those noises. That's another reason why I can't run higher force feedback, because my rig cannot take it. You can hear it again there probably. Old tubular, it's the old GTE Omega. Yeah. And I run strong force feedback even when I could do in the past with didn't have the shoulder issue. It's just very breaks the immersion when you've got a rig that's making noises. So I'm looking forward to the new Pro Sim rig that hopefully will arrive back end of April or early May, along with the Simmagic Alpha Mini and the GT Neo wheel. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, to say the least. I did try this track, race this track once in Automobilista 2, so months ago. So obviously it is a lot of straights as well, but need to find several seconds to be competitive here though, based on my first race. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, could find 2 or 3 seconds at least. So I can hear my rig making noises. Just noticing it more now because I've got my headset turned down a little bit, and yeah, the fact that I'll have a new rig, so that's something I will not miss. The noises that this rig makes, the thing of the past. So I've got a quad monitor stand from Race Anywhere in the UK as well. It's an aluminium profile. It's actually stronger than my actual rig. So looking forward to having an aluminium profile rig as well. So I might actually be able to run stronger force feedback then anyway, even with the shoulder issue, which will be nice. So I've tried it. It's not that I've not tried it above 7 Newton meters. I mean, I've tried it at 10 in briefly, and I felt the collarbone and shoulder, felt the repercussions. So it's just not something I can run, guys. But and plus I'm not the biggest built, don't have the biggest build, so I don't need to be not a bodybuilder or something, or someone that goes to the gym. So anyway, just finished this lap. This still feels pretty comparable to yesterday. Let's get the line a bit long there. I can go through here much faster than I'm doing. It feels fast. Anything feels fast. Well, everything feels faster in these cars, but dare say it can be a lot faster. Yeah, these cars are just, well, clues in the name. Hypercars. I'm really impressed with these. Okay, first lap of the day, 3:31.1, PBs are 3:30.060, they're 3:30.3 in the race, my first race, so not too far away. That force feedback does feel comparable, but again I preempted in the GTEs. I changed, just to repeat, I changed this to 100, and in the past I've had it settled with this, but of late I've had it just left at 90. So for the GTE, because of the release notes say minus 36% force feedback with the GTE balancing force feedback, I've changed this to 100, but this does go to 200. And I have briefly tried that actually, makes a heck of a difference, but obviously you need to be mindful of any clipping, guys. And I've also ran this, on my DD1, but I've never tried above that because my rig will just shake the hell. It cannot even cope with this, and I can't even physically. But I'm on DD1, so could be running much higher if my rig and myself could take it. But each to their own. It's preference and what you can run on your own rig. So hopefully that's giving you an idea, guys, that I think you're going to need to, for the GTEs, need to turn up the force feedback, because even that extra 10%, obviously 10% doesn't outweigh 36% reduction of force feedback for the GTE cars. So yeah, just mileage may vary for you. Just see how you get on. See you in the next one. Cheers.